You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
Man, this is some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and TrackRacer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to round 5 of the season 2025B GG Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Brought to you by our other sponsors, TWRS Setups, 131 Web Radio Network, and Inside Lane Productions. Kobe Jordan in behind the cameras once again, and joining me in the booth tonight, we have special guest Sean Signori filling in for James Watson. Thanks for joining us tonight, Sean. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm definitely looking forward to tonight. Chicagoland is one of the most underrated tracks on the service. 3 wide is possible on every inch of this racetrack. I wonder how early we will see these guys get spicy.
Ooh, well, 3 wide. We've seen a bit of spicy action going on in practice, so hopefully we'll see some 3 wide action tonight on the racetrack.
Yeah, practice has definitely been interesting to watch so far.
Well, we are at Chicagoland tonight. 100 laps, 1.5 mile track, 2.41 kilometers, and 50% fuel load on board tonight, and 4 sets of tires. So interesting to see. We'll see that fuel run come in tonight, or the tire save strategy, or a bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of both. You know, the fuel might not be the biggest issue. These tires are burning themselves off with this car being so heavy. I think preserving that right front is going to play the biggest key tonight.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen that a fair amount of times over the last season and a little bit this season as well at certain tracks, the right front and the meatballs. So we'll see. Being a night race, though, at Chicagoland, might help with cooler track temps and might help with those tires tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to help keep these guys maybe a little closer together than it would if the track was a lot harder. So it's going to be close, and it's going to be really interesting, especially under the lights.
Yeah, definitely. And last week's recap, we were at round 4 of Charlotte Motor Speedway. We saw Ruben Phelps take the trophy after quite an unsettling race for him. Wasn't too happy about the argy-bargy going on, but Troy Davidson come home in second and Gary Wellman in third. So Sim Boys had a pretty good, strong run last week as well. So we'll see who can take the victory tonight at Chicago. But our top 10 standings for the championship coming into round 5 tonight. Ruben Phelps in first, so nice little 5-point lead there. Troy Davidson second, Wellman in third. Andy Barber fourth, Nicholas Walsh fifth, Braden Sagasser in sixth, Craig Roffey seventh, Scott McClintock eighth, Rick Vincent ninth, Chris Bleakley there in 10th. And once again, another shout out to Chris Bleakley. So I hope he's doing well and braving those floods, and hopefully he'll be back on his feet soon.
Yeah, it's never a good deal to deal with, and we're all thinking about him here tonight, wishing he was here with us.
Yeah, definitely. And boys, just rolling out now for practice. We've got Perry Anastakis there on screen at the moment, coming out on track to set his qualifying time.
Qualifying is going to be really important tonight. You don't really want to start behind all those guys if you can't help it, especially if you have to preserve those tires. Letting a couple guys by to save the tires is a lot better than having to drive through 20 of them.
Yeah, definitely. And in practice, we had Nicholas Walsh from Sim Boys 33.8 there in practice, a blinder, almost a whole second faster than everyone else. So be interesting to see what the qualifying times will get posted. Probably looking at around that, 32.5, 32.6 maybe for the qualifying times there.
I think a 32.5 is going to be pretty fast if you're out there by yourself without any draft help.
Yeah, for sure. That 33.8 would definitely be a huge draft to smash that one out the park there. But times are coming in now. So Lachlan Purvis at the top at the moment, 32.6 there.
That's pretty fast, but I think we're going to see a couple guys be able to beat that.
Definitely Kate Donnelly jumped there, 32.691, so slightly faster than Lachlan Purvis. But maybe a few guys banking on that second lap for their best lap.
Yeah, I've already seen a couple guys go out there and rim ride coming out of the pits and on their first lap. It's definitely going to be the play here. And it also takes a lap for these tires to warm up.
Oof, well, there we go. 32.4 for Troy Davidson. So nice blinder there for him. Beating that 32.5. So good pace there for Troy Davidson tonight. Okay, Donnelly slotting in a 32.4 as well. Just under half time left for qualifying. A few drivers haven't set their time yet, so about half the grid out there at the moment. So we'll see if anyone can knock off Troy Davidson off the top spot there.
We're watching Ruben Phelps here, champion of the first series of this racing league, and he's one of the better drivers here, so it'd be interesting to see what kind of time he can put up here on his second lap coming right up. He's one of those guys I expect to win the pole. I meant to say the first ever series of this.
Braden Sagerson jumping up with the 32.599s, just sneaking into the fives there. Kim Roffey with a quite a good time there as well, 32.6, so really good time there for Kim.
61 car also coming inside the top 10 there. He was so close to winning last week at Daytona. He's going to be looking for a little bit of redemption tonight.
We've got just over a minute left to go, so might just go to a quick ad break, and then we'll come back with our starting grid.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone. Thanks for tuning in tonight for round 5, the Digimobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. We have our grid, and no one was able to knock Troy Davidson off the pole. So it's going to be a Simboys front row, Troy Davidson and Kay Donnelly. Second row, Ruben Phelps and Tom Pritchard. Third row, Braden Sagerson and Kim Roffey. Fourth row, Ryan Barber and Gary Wellman. And the fifth row, Jason Toman and Shane Roffey, your top 10.
Starting 11th is going to be Todd Maxfield in the 16. 12th is going to be Andy J. Barber. 13th is going to be Lachlan Purvis in that 096. And 14th is going to be Adam Malone. Perry Anastakis comes in 15th. And 16th is going to be Scott McClinton. 17th is going to be Peter Madison, and running 18th is going to be Rick Vincent. Troy Mortensen comes in P19, and in the 20th spot it's going to be Nicholas Walsh in that 222. Shannon Wright's going to come out 21st, and 22nd is going to be Matthew Raymond. Derek Jacobs in the 27th is going to be 23rd, and 24th and starting shotgun on the field is going to be Colin Bennett.
Well, there we go. So there's our starting grid for tonight's 100 laps at Chicagoland. And the winner of tonight's race is going to win a month subscription for TWRS Setups. So thank you to TWRS Setups for giving that one to the race winner tonight.
Those are some fast setups out there. That's worth more than gold.
Yeah, definitely. And come up against some of those on the Friday night truck racing, and definitely a handful to try and beat those setups. So not only in the like the trucks, but the ARCA, I believe they do pretty well as well. So
Yeah, that's set up for the A card this week. The next gen at Michigan's been bad fast.
well, we are rolling, and pace car lights out, so we're going to be going green in just a moment. Troy Davidson will be taking us to the green flag tonight.
Be interesting to see how quickly that 41, Cade Donnelly, stays behind him. I think he's going to be a little impatient here at the start. Maybe try to get around him here in the first couple laps while those tires are fresh.
Well, Troy can be pretty quick out there, and so can Cade. But there's the team boys. There's no sort of commitment to team racing there. So we'll watch the gloves come off, and we'll see what happens. But nice little start there for Troy Davidson, getting a jump, and that's given him plenty of room for Cade Donnelly there, as he'll get that inside over Ruben Phelps.
A little bit of three wide action there off of turn 2, mid-pack. But they are all over each other, especially coming down to 3.
And Ruben Phelps looking like he wants to try and make that inside move on Cade Donnelly early on. Not happy with that start, but at the moment, it's just got to sit there, use that draft, see if he can get a bit of a run. Looks like Brayden Sagster there as well.
Here comes Cade to the inside, going for the lead on Troy. I called it. It wasn't going to take long. I knew he was going to wait behind Troy. They're going to be swapping positions here. Maybe trying to control the race up front, but here comes Ruben trying to take advantage of it. He's going to back out going into turn 3.
Three wide almost back there. Brayden Sagster, Tom Pritchard, Ryan Barber. Things are getting pretty spicy up the front already in these opening laps.
A little bit of a checkup here on the inside. It's going to give Ryan Barber a little bit of a head of steam. He's going to go around Ruben. He's going to get to the outside of Troy Davidson for second. He's going to pass 3 guys in one corner.
Yeah, nice move there. Looks like that outside line's got quite a lot of pace around that corner.
When you're up on that outside like that, you got that guy on the inside. He has to lift a little bit more, and it's going to give you that big run, especially off of turn 2 where he was. Troy Davidson seems to be saving some tires, falling back a couple spots here early from his pole position. I think that might be a little bit of a smart play here, trying to save that right front.
Well, he's got his bonus points for leading that lap, so got the lead laps out the way, and probably why they surrendered that spot to Cade so easily. Let him lead a few for the team points as well, and get the bonus points up for grabs. But Ryan Barber's trying to make his moves and catch up to Cade there.
Still side by side here with Tom Pritchard. Oh, 3 wide. Here comes Brayden through the middle. He's going to stick his nose in there, but I don't think it's going to get him underneath Tom here. He's going to get a big run off the corner. He's going to try to go underneath Ryan. Oh, he's going to stick behind him here. A little bit of a checkup's going to trickle its way back.
Got to be careful of these checkups. Last week we saw quite a few checkups coming into the corners at Charlotte, and there was a lot of pushing and shoving, which led to a few cautions there. So with the field running this close at the moment, and 2 wide and right on their bumpers, hopefully we don't see a repeat of that this week.
Here comes Brayden for the lead. He passed 3 guys on that outside there. It seems to be very, very fast up there on that top line. We might be looking at that being the dominant line throughout the race.
Well, it definitely looks like an easy way around, going around the long way, though, on that outside to get those moves done towards the front.
Well, keep that car wound up, get the speed into it, that momentum. Slingshot you off the corner down the straightaway. It's worth a lot here.
Okay, Donnelly looking for the inside on Tom Pritchard there, but just losing that momentum a little bit. Couldn't quite get that done. Todd Maxfield trying to come through as well. Just a little bit further back. You can see there Ruben Phelps and Troy Davidson just dropping back there as well. So just outside the top 5 now. Back in 7th and 8th.
Yeah, I think they're just playing the patient game right now, trying to conserve those tires, let those guys in front of them use them up on the top. The top line will use your tires up a little bit more.
Well, you had a little bit of a run earlier, and you mentioned that maybe around sort of 34, 35 laps maybe to a tank. So that's what we're predicting tonight for a fuel run. So lap 9 coming up.
Yeah, so we got about
So
25 laps to go.
Right.
Yeah, so we got about 25 laps to go on the fuel run, and it should last, till the end. These tires, if you play them right and you don't use them up here early, but some of these guys might be struggling towards the end of that 35 laps.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I don't think there's too much worry on tyre saving. I think they're just going flat out, and Todd Maxfield there on the inside. Okay, Donnelly now trying to get that run. As we did see, that outside line was good, but he's going for a big dive into the corner. Braden Sager, so just cutting that off.
Pretty smart move by Braden, but they're going to be 3 wide down the straightaway here for the lead. Pritchard's going to have the run all the way up on top, but here comes Todd Maxfield in that 16 underneath him into turn 3.
Just running that wide for Tom. So again, maybe just thinking maybe just need to settle in again and led my laps at the front to get those bonus points. Just back out of this and conserve that tyre and fuel a little bit now. Let someone else take over the lead.
Also seems to be a couple laps into this run. The dominant line tends to shift back down towards the bottom. Oh, we got a spinner on the backstretch. In the grass down there all the way into turn 3. 2 cars.
That's Troy Mortensen and Perry Anastakis there. We'll see if we can catch a replay on that one. What happened there?
Oh, it looks like Perry comes down a little bit on Troy. Down off the corner. Comes off the wall. Good car length and a half and gets spun out.
Shouldn't be too much damage there for Troy, but both cars not in the wall, so yeah, probably got off that one quite light, but the race remains green. And the battle at the front now, Ryan Barber, Todd Maxfield, door to door at the front here.
Braden Sagasser right behind him, waiting for an opportunity to maybe make this 3 wide. Oh, they're going to be making big contact down in the corner as Ryan Barber goes up the track. He might have to concede that position to Braden off the corner here, losing all that momentum. And Braden's going to have a big run here on Todd going down to turn 3. He's going to give him a little bit of a push, try to break away.
It looked like he was trying to maybe push him into that corner and try and run around the outside, but sort of when he went wide, he lost a little bit of that momentum, but now he's crossed to the inside trying to find that work.
We'll be able to see if he gets his nose in there going down to turn 1. It doesn't look like it's going to happen as Todd Maxfield comes back down to the inside to cover off.
Again, you can see that run from Andy Barber there again on that outside as Todd Maxfield moves up to block that run. Definitely plenty of pace on that outside line.
But Braden's going to stick that nose down there on the inside. Todd gets a little bit tight off the corner, and they are side by side as they come across the line. Braden might have the momentum here coming into the corner, but I expect Todd to be able to clear him coming off of 2 here, just with the big runner on the outside. As Braden walks up the track, a little bit of a door bang.
It's good to see this hard racing, 15 laps in, door-to-door action as well. So Good to see there. Ryan Barber just cutting the nose off on Kay Donnelly there out of the corner.
He's trying to get down, make that apex. Sometimes you got to ignore that guy, you know, a couple inches off your rear bumper just to make sure you get the best run through the center of that corner. Still side by side for the lead as they come off of 2. Real close, real tight, all the way down the backstretch. Who is going to make out in this battle?
I think they're too busy to make out in a battle at the moment. They're trying to drive for the lead here.
Make out with the lead, yeah.
I think as close as they get, you know, touching doors. But
hey, you got to cut me a little bit of slack. You know, I'm still new up here. Well, here comes Braden still down there on that inside. They are still fighting it out.
We like to throw a joke or two in here in the okay. Sunday night broadcast and let them have it. So.
I could be the butt of the joke all the time. I'm cool with that.
That's right. Going back a little bit further, Rick Vincent in the middle of a 3 wide at the moment. Ruben Phelps there and couldn't quite catch who was on the outside. It's just fizzled out a little bit further back.
Rick Vincent has been a big mover so far early in this race. He's already up 10 positions from where he started. Up front, you can tell. You can see Braden has cleared Todd Maxfield for the lead.
So, starting to get that single
car on
line.
the apron there. It's going to be Lachlan Purvis hitting that apron. He got very, very loose going down to turn 3 that time. That was almost a big, big mess. Great job by him holding on to that car.
Starting to get a bit of a single line forming up now with our top sort of 8 drivers here. A little bit further back, still running 2 wide. But
one car I see moving back up through there is that 23 of Troy Davidson, your pole sitter. Oh, contact for the lead. Side by side again. Maxfield went down to the corner and lifted up Braden's rear tires going down to turn 3. About wrecked him in front of the whole field, but they were able to hold on to it and get through the corner.
Ryan Barber there looking for that inside run as well.
Yeah, that was a big dive there. I don't know if that's going to work, especially with the tires with 20 laps on them. That is a big run there by Braden, though.
Still looking for that inside run at the moment. Braden's just going to lose out on that a little bit. Kate Donnelly come charging in here as well. So Cade carrying a lot of pace out of that corner, but Ryan Barber's going to win out of that one.
I think you're seeing the older tires showing themselves here. You got guys that saved their stuff early in their race, and now they're working their way back up towards the front, and that's why they've all seemed to caught each other here 21 laps into the run.
If we're predicting another 14 odd laps, then we'll probably see a few dropping back out of this pack, but still got Ruben Phelps has made his way back up to the front once again, and Braden's still sitting there. Troy Davidson's coming back through again. 3 wide at the front still, so looks like a little bit of tyre strategy, but the older versus the little bit of a save. Not really. I don't know. It's still a bit up in the air at the moment for me. You can see the pace on some of the guys, but there's others that are still hanging on there.
Here comes Maxfield on the outside around Ryan Barber. Doesn't seem like the leader can hold on to the lead very long. It's almost like a plate track, only Talladega and Daytona. Big run by Barber back down to the inside. They're going to be side by side through 1 and 2.
Now maybe it's that draft effect once again, being that lead car at the front. There's no one to pull you along, and that outside line with the pace that we've seen tonight, just getting that run, a little bit of side draft with the wall and the cars, able to get that run. So that's probably why we're getting those lead changes so much.
And as the leader, you naturally want to run the bottom. You tend not to run the top sometimes as the leader, as you're out there with the clean windshield. Still 2 by 2, 4 or 5 rows back.
Coming up to that quarterway mark now, so We'll go to a quick ad break here and we'll come back and see what unfolds for our pit stop strategies.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
If you love the thrill of racing but hate the risks, then buckle up. Everything Simulated is here to merge adrenaline with absolute safety. In a world where technology meets adrenaline, Everything Simulated is revolutionizing driver training with state-of-the-art simulators. From truck training to the thrill of motorsports, our simulators offer the most realistic experiences across all automotive applications. Gone are the days of endless bookwork and basic drills. Now it's all about hands-on, pulse-pounding action that prepares you for the real deal. Whether you're maneuvering a heavy mining vehicle or racing a high-speed car, our simulators, equipped with cutting-edge technology from leaders like SimRigs and Track Racer, bring every nuance of the drive to life. And talk about making a mark. We're not just building simulators, we're fostering talent. From grassroots motorsports to professional series like the Aussie Outlaw GT3, sponsored by us, Everything Simulated is fueling dreams and careers. Ready to feel the excitement of the racetrack under your fingertips? Connect with us, and let's build your next simulator adventure together. Remember, we support those who support us. Join the Everything Simulated family, and let's race towards the future.
Alrighty, welcome back everyone, and we are rolling over 30 laps here at Chicagoland for the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Thanks to our sponsors TWRS Setups and 131 Web Radio Network and Inside Lane Productions. Currently leading the race is Todd Maxfield, but Braden Sagas are looking for that inside run now.
Boy, these guys have been putting on a show 2-3 wide for multiple laps. Seems like it's been going on for about 12 laps. Looks like they just started the race, and we're 6 laps away from a potential pit stop.
Yeah, still plenty of 2 and 3 wide action. Oh, that's very close there. Todd Maxfield, Ryan Barber, rubbing doors the whole way through the corners.
Yeah, Ryan seemed to got a little bit tight there going into the corner. Great job by both of them, not making that a bigger problem.
Well, here comes Rick Vincent now. He's up in the top 4 here, so come from further back, starting in 18th, as we said, was up 10 spots earlier. Now he's looking to the lead of the race.
Oh, he has made some aggressive moves, especially through the middle, 3 wide. Here he goes, doing it again for the lead. It's going to work out for him as he's going to clear Maxfield on the outside. He's going to have that run down the straightaway. He's going to put up a big fight here to Braden for that top spot.
Now look at that. Beautiful aqua sort of coloured car, just parted the seas there and got that move done on Todd Maxfield, and that run around the outside again, trying to get the nose in front, get this race lead. Not quite able to on the oval, but he's still going to have that outside line, hopefully get that run around turn 1 and 2. Ryan Barber trying to look for the inside as well, make it 3 wide, but had to pull out of that one.
Every other lap going down to turn 1, he's poking his nose in there. It's going to happen one of these times. He's going to get a big enough run. He's going to try to make it 3 wide. And here he goes up the middle, as I say it.
We're definitely going to try and part the seas again. And you can see the inside line trying to hold strong there, but middle just backing out a little bit. But he's going to go for it again into turn 1.
Yeah, that middle gives you a big run down the straightaway. And he's going to make it work, especially through the center here of 1 and 2. He's going to clear both of them. A big power move there by Ryan Barber, showing what he's got underneath his car. He's going to go up to the top and cut off Rick Vincent. Make sure he covers over that top line.
And he's going to slot in front of Braden Sagasa there as well, cut him off. So coming up on some lap traffic at the moment, just in front of them. It's Shannon Wright there, about to go down a lap. And Derek Jacobs just coming out of pit lane as well.
Rick Vincent's not going away without a fight, though. He's going to maintain that top line, trying to try to poke that nose in there when he gets a shot. Switches back over to the inside. Seems like he had to get out of the gas a little bit in the center. He's going to get that big run off turn 4, though. Try to maybe get him down to turn 1. Big loose there out of Braden.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a helping hand behind on a nudge there, trying to push him along, and yeah, big wiggle on the back of that car, but managed to save that.
Yeah, new player at the front here, Tom Pritchard in that 6 car. He started up front, but really hasn't been up here for the lead, but now we see him towards the end of this fuel run.
Well, it looks like the first of the green pit stops coming in now. I think that's Troy Mortensen, looking at that. Who was a little bit off the field, but now we're getting the comms coming through. So Lachlan Purvis on the comms, Todd Maxfield joining. So we're going to be going green flag pit stops this time round.
Seems
we'll
like a lot of...
Sorry?
I was going to say, it seems like a lot of these guys have saved fuel in this draft. They've gone a couple extra laps than we thought, but that's only going to make the end of the run shorter for them.
I was just going to say who can stay out there, but looks like some clean stops there for Lachlan, Braden, and Todd Maxfield. So at the front though, Tom Pritchard, Ruben Phelps, Rick Vincent, Ryan Barber, Kate Donnelly there. A little bit of a gap back to Adam Malone, Gary Wellman. This time round, leaders coming in as well.
Who is going to make the mistake? Who is going to slide through their box or get caught speeding on pit road? That's what green flag pit stops produce, is mistakes. That's going to play a big part in tonight's race.
Well, that was a very early slowdown there for Tom Pritchard into pit lane and gave Ruben Phelps the drive around Tom Pritchard and Ryan Barber. So nice pit stop move there for Ruben Phelps to make up 2 spots coming into pit lane.
That's a great move there. It's one of the opportunistic moments that you have to take advantage of in one of these, really close oval races.
Definitely any little edge you can get over another car, you've got to take that. Rick Vincent, Kate Donnelly coming into pit lane now. Nicholas Walsh just behind.
All pretty smooth by those guys. I don't see any of them potentially getting caught speeding here.
Oh no, Rick Vincent sideways into his pit box, just locked up. Not sure what happened there for him. Hard on the brake, might have maybe misjudged where his pit box was. Hard on the brake and lost it.
Oh yeah, he did not see his pit stall till it was too late. Got on the brakes a little too hard, wrapped it right around. That's going to be a big killer here. He's going to go a lap down or more. All this time he is losing on a green flag cycle is going to make him lose the pack and potentially even more.
It's unfortunate. There was having some nice pace there over the run as well. So unfortunate there.
Still got a couple guys who have not made a pit stop. Gary Wellman, Troy Davidson, Adam Malone. Troy and Andy J. Barber are going to come down this time by. But it's only going to leave 2 guys out there who have not made a stop yet.
We've seen some interesting strategies from Gary Wellman before that have paid off on a run before when he tried to make it a tyre race or a fuel race and out-strategised the rest of the field. And we'll see if what he's got in mind tonight will pay off or not.
Well, with the cars that have already pitted in front of the pack is Ruben Phelps. He seems to have the fastest in and out lap. Along with his pit stop, he's going to leapfrog a bunch of cars, as we saw him leapfrog a car coming down onto pit road. So right now he is leading the pack of cars that have already pitted.
And Wellman and Malone into pit lane this time around. So Peter Matson come flying around. So looks like Peter Matson might be jumping to the lead of this race in just a moment.
Well, maybe he took fuel only 2 tires or short pitted, but he came out 7 seconds ahead of the pack. That's going to tell me that he did something on that pit stop that's different from the rest of these guys.
Well, if Matson comes home with the top 5, Glenn, mate, you're going to be shaving your head. There could be a chance here. We never know.
Well, if he's got a way to come out 7 seconds ahead of all the rest of the guys on pit stops, he might be a favorite to win this race.
Definitely something in that pit stop. Maybe just taking right sides, maybe just to try and get an edge over everyone else. But we'll see what strategy he's got in mind there and if that will pay off in the long run.
And he's not slow. He's running the same lap times as Ruben Phelps in the pack behind him.
I'm just looking at that. I was just looking at Phelps, and that gap's actually growing at the moment. So he's got the help of Rick Vincent behind there, a little bit of a gap there, but Peter Matson's looking forward, but this pack will eventually chase him down. A 7-second gap at this stage, so we'll see if he can grow that.
It seems like they're playing nice up here for second place, everybody. It seems to be in line going down the straightaways, not making any big moves down into the corner like they were earlier. I expect that to change once they realize they're not catching up to Peter in a timely manner.
Yeah, it's interesting watching that time just slowly stretching and coming back. Like he's getting a nice run through the corners and that time growing a little bit with no help at all. So all these guys back here, led by Phelps, it's sort of almost a hindrance running together in a pack.
Well, when you're the leader of a pack like this, you're running different lines. You're blocking people down the straightaway. You're not running the optimal line. You're not doing what you need to do to run the fastest lap. You're doing what you need to do to hold on to that track position.
Yeah, at this stage, coming up to halfway almost, that you'd think you wouldn't really care about that and just want to chase down that leader as Tom Pritchard takes over the lead of this pack. Ryan Barber in behind, so a couple of Southern Stars cars. Hopefully they can get the push on and try and chase down Peter Matson, who's now out to an 8 seconds. So he's gained a second in a couple of laps over the field.
And last time off turn 2, Todd Maxfield had a big check up there and gave Tom Pritchard an easy way around him to get to the front of this pack. But it's all for second place, as you just said. Peter Madison out there running a good 2.5, 3 tenths quicker every single lap. I'm wondering what he did on that pit stop to give him such an advantage here.
Well, you look at those last laps we just had on screen. 33 flat for Peter Madsen, 33.2 on the laps for Tom Pritchard, Ryan Barber 33.4. So there's definitely a lot more pace in that car with Peter Matson running on his own there in the field. So
I'm thinking maybe he's a little lighter on fuel than some of these guys. I would shorten up the pit stop, and it will make the car lighter and faster.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll give it a little bit of a shout out to our sponsors. We're halfway through this race. So TWRS Setups, the winner of this race, getting a month subscription. But also, if you're interested in buying a setup for a particular race coming up, they are offering a 10% discount code there. So what's been 39 when you go to the checkout for the setup, chuck that code in and get a nice little 10% discount.
I want to show some love to Doogie Mobile too for supplying this series with a phone for the winner of the championship. that is a big deal, and these guys have that on their mind as they're out there racing for these points.
At Blade GT phone there on screen as well. So currently Ruben Phelps, our championship leader in points, but only a small 5-point gap over second place Troy Davidson, I think that is, and Wellman just behind as well. So Ruben Phelps just outside the top 5 at the moment. There's your championship points there. So things pretty close there between Ruben and Troy Davidson. A little bit of a gap back there to Wellman, but again, we're only round 5 of 18, so still got a long way to go in this season.
I just saw Ruben wrap up an ARCA championship the other night. I know he is one of those drivers who's going to be a big factor in this championship as it goes on. He knows how to get it done. He's proven it out there tonight, out there running in the top 10.
He definitely always has pretty good, strong runnings. But last week, as we had him in the booth, it was a little bit unsettling race for him with the argy-bargy and elbows out with the close running, but doesn't seem like that's phased him too much this week.
That's Daytona sometimes. You just got to shake Daytona off after you get through with that.
Yeah, loving these comments coming in. Peter Matson driving like 2023 Max Verstappen at the moment.
He is. That gap's still 8 seconds. He lost a little bit this lap. Seems like he's lost about 4/10 to the leaders, to the other leaders, this lap and last lap, but it seems like over the whole course of the run, he might be able to maintain that advantage.
Well, especially when they're running 3 wide back there with Ryan Barber and Todd Maxfield, Braden Sagerser, I think, was in there as well. So they definitely don't want to be running 3 wide. No.
Yeah, they're not showing any mercy to each other.
Well, we're over that halfway mark, so probably, what are we looking at now? Maybe another 20-odd laps, I think, to our next pit stops coming up.
Yeah, I expect pit stops with around 30, 25 laps to go to get you over that line to the end. It'll be interesting to see if these guys do any overcuts, undercuts, or any sort of different strategies like Peter did last time around to try to maybe catch up to him. Or you get to the front of this pack as impatience is going to start playing a factor in this race.
Yeah, definitely. And definitely be interested to see what strategy Peter actually did to pull off such a big gap over the field. So
we might get lucky and be able to ask him when we're all done.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Nice run there for Peter Matson tonight, and definitely clear of any field dilemmas there. Ryan Barber and Todd Maxfield having another rub come together.
Ryan's one of those guys that has made that bottom work consistently throughout this race. I don't think the contact on the straightaway is going to work out for them in the long run. No, they're going to have to get away from all that, at least for the moment, at least till we get towards the end of this race. Then they can start banging doors.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a hard task as well when you're sitting behind those guys running too wide that are fighting for that position, and you just got to try and find that gap, try and poke the nose in the middle there, try and separate them maybe, or see if you can try and get that run on the outside, but it's going to be hard to even get that move on the outside there. So at the moment, Braden Sags are just having to sit back and just watch the two in front race.
And when you have somebody 8 seconds ahead, so far ahead of the whole pack like Peter is at the moment, the guys behind the second place car, they get frustrated. They want to get up there and lead this pack, thinking that they're quicker than Peter and can close in on that gap. And that's going to play more and more of a factor as Peter maintains that lead more and more.
And then now they're coming up on Rick Vincent as well, so slowly chasing down Rick Vincent to lap him. Actually already 1 lap down, so Peter Matson already put him down, but he's got the rest of the field coming for him.
Yeah, that pit stop spin has really put a dent in Rick Vincent's race, and he's starting to pay the price for it now. As he's actually already 2 laps down as Peter's gotten around him. He's just now getting the pack to catch him. Big move down there by Braden. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. Looking for that 3 wide again. Tom Pritchard around the outside. Todd Maxfield, Braden Sags are there. So, again, 3 wide coming up here in the second pack.
We start to see these guys get more and more racy, almost as the tires wear off, as Tom Pritchard gets a big run into the outside of Ryan Barber for second place.
Looking there with Lachlan Purvis, Ruben Phelps, Kate Donnelly coming through. Even Matty Ray up now, up into the front of this pack. Coming through after sitting back there. Didn't put in a qualifying time, I think. So, opting to choose from the rear of the field to start the race. And now he's coming to the front of this pack alongside Adam Malone there.
New players in the top 10. That tells me those guys are the ones that really nailed the pit stop cycle and were able to leapfrog a bunch of cars and get themselves closer to the pack as Peter hits pit road from the lead.
Oh, lap 60 there, so
40 laps to go. That's the long way to make it. That tells me that he short pitted on fuel last time around and tried to time it right to where he only needed a full tank here to get to the end.
Yeah, well, we saw about 37 laps, maybe, that they were sort of stretching it to, so 40 is going to be a hard ask there.
Well, that's going to ramp up the lead race up here now, well, as we are now 2 and 3 wide for the lead, and not second place anymore. These guys see it way closer to in front of their windshields now. They're going to start going for it.
Well, now they know what happened with the stop and having to stop earlier for Peter Matson, so probably, good to go now. They realised what happened.
Well, they still got to worry about him, though. Peter's going to come off pit road and be out there by himself running fast times as he did in the last cycle, so he has not escaped their minds. He's still in the forefront thinking that they're going to have to play with him towards the end of this race.
Definitely, and it's going to be a quick stop next time round as well for Peter Matson, just a splash and dash to get home.
I think he's going to try to make it home from here. He's going to try to save maybe a little bit of fuel. He's going to have to save a couple laps, because it's going to be a tall task for him, especially out there by himself.
No draft, no help, just the clutch and yourself.
We got a lap car right in front of the leaders just now, and that's going to give these guys something. A little bit of a chicane to get around here as this pack catches him really quick. Rick's been struggling with that damage on the nose, so he should be an easy pass for most of these guys, but he is going to impede somebody as they are all over this track, 2-3 wide, using every lane. He's going to have nowhere to go.
Yeah, definitely someone's going to get caught out. It looks like Tom Pritchard, but he might just be able to slot down there into the middle as he does, so Todd Maxfield trying to sandwich that middle line a little bit with Ryan Barber, using Rick Vincent on the outside, knowing they're going to have to squeeze through that middle gap.
Still tight there, coming off of 4 between Tom Pritchard and Braden Sagasser on the inside as they get around Rick Vincent, that lap car.
Probably just under 10 now for green flag pit stops to come into effect, so probably start seeing them coming in the next 5 to 8 laps.
Well, green flag pit stops, that always poses an opportunity for somebody to make a mistake. As we said earlier, it'll be interesting to see who does it this time around like Rick did last time.
Yeah, definitely speeding into pit lane or a little mishap on the brake pedal, so we'll see who nails their pit stops, who wants the race win, and if they can try and, cut as much of they can coming into pit lane without making that mistake.
Well, one thing that makes these cars unique to other oval racing cars is it has a pit limiter, kind of like an Indy car. So these guys are a little bit aggressive on those pit entries as well. Even with that limiter, there is a way they can speed, and they will.
I'm not sure if the pit limiter is allowed in use or not. That's one we've never actually talked about here, but I think we might have just had that. They can still use that, so obviously, you can take advantage of that, jam on that pit limiter, and don't have to worry about speeding in pit lane.
Still side by side for the lead. Todd Maxfield is not going away, utilizing that outside as Ryan Barber is maintaining at the start finish line and leading these laps. So it seems like he is making that bottom work better than anybody else out there at the moment. He has made it work throughout this whole race, fighting for the lead.
Well, he definitely wants the wants another podium, and he's in contention for that at the moment, showing a nice strong run. We haven't seen much of Andy Barber tonight, so just sitting towards the back of this pack at the moment, rolling around, Shane Roffey and Kim Roffey between. So just on the fuel save maybe, or on the cruise mode at the moment, and probably look to try and fight his way up to the front in the last stint.
Any fuel you can save now is going to make that last pit stop shorter, and that is what they're probably aiming to do, riding back there in the back of this pack.
Well, we'll see if that pays off in just a moment, and see how far up the field they can jump with their pit stops.
Here comes Ruben Phelps. He's passed 2-3 guys in the last couple laps. He is making his presence known here to these fellas up front, as he's going to try to maybe get a run here on Ryan Barber coming off turn 2.
I was looking for that outside, but Ryan just playing the smarter game up onto the outside line, making Ruben work that inside, and not able to quite get the run. He'll get up alongside, but the pace on that outside line still just got the edge for Ryan Barber at the moment.
Be interesting to see how Barber's car works on the outside. We've seen him on the inside a whole bunch. It'll be interesting to see how he drives it on the outside, and if he's able to maintain that pace and maintain that track position on a different line.
Well, we saw him through the middle at some stage as well.
Oh,
there's contact.
How did they not wreck those cars? My God, that was a crazy, crazy save there by Ryan Barber. They're just happy they both got away with that. Doesn't matter what happened anymore.
Todd Maxfield sitting back, and he had a bit of a show there at them, just behind them. So he jumped on the comms, and it was a little bit unsettling there, but good checkout from everyone just to avoid any cars running into each other there, and good awareness.
He about had a crash fall into his lap. That's never a good thing to see sometimes when you're running up front, having a good race, as Todd is.
And we're only a couple of laps away from that pit stop window, I think. So we'll see.
Well, the window is open now. These guys can pit right now and make it to the end. So it will be interesting to see which is the first one of these fellas that bites and takes his car down pit lane to get to that enough fuel and tires to get to the finish line. Oh, another big half block there by Ryan Barber, as Ruben does still get to the outside going down to turn 3. They are going back and forth. Neither of these guys might be happy about that last little bit of contact there going into turn 3, and they might be out there showing it to each other.
Well, he got that outside run, but a little bit of a switch back there. Ryan Barber to the outside now, trying to get the run back on Phelps. A little bit of back and forth there, crossing over. But Phelps almost coming up to cut him off, but just pulling out of that one. And looks like our first stops are going to be coming up this lap.
26 laps to go, plenty of time to make it to the end.
Lachlan Purvis coming to pit lane. I don't know if he actually...
Lachlan did not get to that cone. He's going to get a black flag for that.
I was going to say. No, that's very interesting coming into pit lane. He went around the wrong side of the cone on the grass lockup and made it into pit lane somehow. So that's very interesting.
Well, if he didn't get a black flag for that, he's got to go out there and play the lottery tonight. He might be the lucky star out there.
Yeah, definitely. And looks like Phelps this time around into pit lane.
Yeah, a bunch of these leaders on pit lane. Ruben Phelps, Todd Maxfield, Tom Pritchard. The 3 guys up front this whole last run. It's going to be interesting to see when Ryan Barber comes in compared to the 3 guys he was racing up there in the top 5.
I believe that's the slap around now. So you're going to see Barber come into pit lane, and We'll see who further back's done a bit more fuel saving. Malone out, Wellman still out. Okay, Donnelly, Matty Ray. So we saw Adam and Wellman go a little bit further on the fuel last stop, so they should be able to get another couple laps out of their run yet.
And which one of these guys is on top of the fuel measurements and knows how much fuel they need to make it? Instead of taking a full tank, some of these guys are going to take a little bit less, and maybe some taking less than what they are projected to need. So we will see, which one of these guys is on top of those measurements and comes out ahead of where they started on this pit cycle.
Malone using all of the track there right down on the apron, trying to take the shortest way around possible.
Well, he's got a little bit of a gap to these guys behind him. That's a bigger gap than we've seen the leader have for most of this race, so he's going to take advantage of it, try to get some clean laps, and maybe pull a little bit of an overcut here on the guys that have already pitted and make his fast laps count here towards the end.
Definitely needs a fast lap when you're going to pit and not get slowed down by anyone else coming into pit lane. Matty Ray peeling off there. Rick Vincent coming in hot into pit lane once again.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tom Pritchard and Ruben Phelps came off pit road right in front of Peter Madison, so they are all together here for this last little run to the checkers.
Well, Peter Madsen, though, still probably going to be very tight on that fuel, and contact with Phelps under Maxfield.
Phelps hit the wall pretty hard there. Looks like he has some right side damage. That's just going to hinder his performance the rest of this race. Might take him out of contention as it got really tight there off turn 2, as it does with these cars, these cars naturally do get tight.
Yeah, that extra little bit of contact didn't help to push Phelps into the wall there, so probably would have managed to keep that off the wall if that second hit didn't come out. But, hopefully no meatball there for Phelps, so play on, but as you said, a little bit of damage there. It's going to hinder his run now.
Adam Malone and Cade Donnelly still out here with Gary Wellman and Troy Davidson. They are still have yet to make their last pit stop, but they are running good lap times, so they might be able to make a little bit of a strategy call here and stay out on that low fuel, get some fast laps in, make their pit stops, and come out ahead of those guys who have already pitted, the prior leaders.
Alrighty, well, 20 to go. We might go to a quick ad break, and we'll come back with the finish of this race.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
Alrighty, we are back, and once again, thanks for tuning in tonight for 100 laps around Chicagoland for round 5 of the Doogie Mobile and Everything Simulated OzOVals V8 Supercar Series. Final pit stops have played out, and we got Braden Sagasa coming around. Gary Wellman just leaving pit lane, so he's going to slot in behind Braden Sagasa. Adam Malone a second back, so Wellman's going to get gobbled up by the pack coming.
Big pit stop there by Adam Malone. He went with the overcut, as we talked about before we went to the break, and he made it work. He was, outside the top 10 when this whole pit stop cycle started, and he came off pit road in second place, ahead of some of these guys who were leading earlier in the race, like Pritchard and Ryan Barber. A couple new players up front because of that strategy.
Well, even Andy Barber as well. He come in, I think, the same time as Adam Malone there, and he was running at the back of this big train, so nice pit stop strategy there, Southern Stars team.
And they also are going to have newer tires on this last little stretch to the finish. He's got 8 laps fresher tires than Braden in front of him, and you can see it now. He has gained a bunch on this last lap, 4/10 on this last lap as they come across the line.
Well, there'll be definitely some defensive moves coming up soon, and probably going to be running 2-3 wide again towards the finish.
Here he comes to the inside. Adam Malone for the lead. He's going to pass Braden like he's sitting still. He's got drafting help behind him from Andy Barber. And he's going to go for the lead down to 3. Newer tires on these guys, taking advantage of them here late in this race.
Definitely even Wellman, you see, coming through, trying to get through on Braden as well, trying to get that run, follow and tag on to the back of Malone.
He's going to have the freshest tires in this pack.
Yeah, definitely. He's not going to want to sit there behind, so he's looking at that outside run at the moment. No draft there, but Ryan Barber's in the back there. We'll give him a push through. They'll clear Braden Sagerson in just a moment. Ryan just giving the wall a little bit of a rub there as well.
He's going to want these two guys up front in first and second to go side by side here and give him a big run, make an opportunity for him to take both of them in one big swoop for the lead. Here he comes, poking his nose to the outside of both of them. He's going to make it work. Big run down the backstretch. He's going to maintain that high line. He's going to side draft Barber going down the backstretch and get him cleared going down to turn 3.
Definitely got the pace on there, on that outside line, but Adam Malone's going to be sitting there waiting for these laps to tick down, and so Andy Barber there. So both teammates for Southern Stars just running a different paint livery there. But you got Ryan Barber just back as well. So Southern Stars lining up, ready to make their moves to the podium, coming up with 10 to go. They're getting their ducks all lined up in a row.
What a drive by Gary Wellman. He was outside the top 10 for most of this race. Didn't get up into the top 5 till about 25 laps to go. Made his pit stop, got the fresher tires, and he went out there and took that lead. We'll see if he can take advantage of it and come home a winner.
Just, looking back a little bit there. Todd Maxfield, Tom Pritchard, Matty Ray. Now 3-car battle going on. Matty Ray on the inside, trying to get that run.
I'm sensing some frustration out of that 6 car and the 16. They were up front for most of this race, battling for the lead amongst themselves. And at the backside of this pit cycle, they are away from this lead pack. And they don't seem to have the pace or the tires to keep up with those guys.
Oh, it looks like Todd Maxfield, they're trying to get on the back of Troy Davidson there, join the lead pack here, try and get up there, but those laps are ticking down slowly.
It's hard to do that. Got 2 guys trying to pass you every corner.
Yeah, definitely. They're not far off the rear bumper there of Troy Davidson, so again, teammates Troy Davidson, Todd Maxfield, so a little bit of a draft help can be possible to try and fall back, pull them back up.
Side by side for the lead down the backstretch. Andy Barber, the other Barber, the daddy Barber, has come out here and taken the lead up front, or at least trying to, from Gary Wellman. They both have taken advantage of that late race fit cycle and have cycled their way up to the front.
Well, it's definitely going to be a hard ask there for Braden Sagerson to try and get around 3 Southern Stars cars. And especially if Troy Davidson jumps in the mix, 2 Simboys cars. So Braden's going to have to do it tough and got some work cut out for him, trying to use every little gap he can find, try and make a hole and get through it.
Still side by side for this lead. Adam Malone sitting in third is continuing to give that push to Andy Barber down the straightaways. At one point, is he not going to give him that push and make it 3 wide, as we see Braden to the outside trying to make it 3 wide, going for third.
A little bit of a blink there from Malone as well. So 6 to go. Been caution-free. 94 laps at Chicagoland. Are we going to see a green-white checker come out, or are we going to go 3 wide and finish this race under green?
What a show these guys have put on tonight. So many lead changes, so many different leaders, so many different strategies. And it's all played out. And we got 8-9 cars battling for this win here in this front pack.
3 wide back there again. Tom Pritchard, Todd Maxfield, Matty Ray. So
yeah, these guys are not doing themselves any favors. They need to catch up to this front pack, not rank amongst themselves for what? 8th place, 7th place? It's not worth it. You got to work together, try to go for the win.
Slowly closing that gap once more, but again, with those laps ticking, going to be 4 to go this time around. And they're running out of laps to get back up there and try and put themselves in a spot where they can make a pass for the lead.
Still super close. Gary's on that inside, doesn't have much drafting help behind him, but he's making that inside work. He's been the leader the last couple times at the line. Will he be able to maintain that inside as we come across the line for the checkers?
There's a big push there from Braden Sagerson on that outside line on Adam Malone, second in that line on the outside, and you can see the wiggle of his car. He's going to drop to the inside now onto Wellman's bumper.
Big block here by Wellman going down to turn 1. He's going to try to get a little bit of an arrow push off the corner, but he's going to maintain that little bit of a bumper of a lead over Andy Barber.
Ryan Barber going through the middle once more, trying to find his way through the field.
With only 2 laps to go, big moves are coming, and even bigger moves are on the way.
Well, here you see Matty Ray's got round Todd Maxfield, Tom Pritchard. He's on the back of Troy Davidson now. So those cars did make it up to the pack. Todd Maxfield on the inside.
Big move by Malone on the outside. He did not stick for him through the center. He's going to lose track position to Ryan Barber going down the back. He's going to try to clear him up top, but no, he's going to go to the bottom and push Gary Wellman. And Gary Wellman's going to break away from the 2 Barbers behind him as they come to the white flag. I'm going to give it to you for the final lap.
Oh, jeez. Well, he's definitely sticking to that inside line there, and he's got his work cut out for me. He'll be looking in that rearview mirror. He's got the Barbers behind him. He's got Malone. Troy Davidson trying to come around the outside as well. Andy Barber looking for that outside run once again. Adam Malone going to be trying to look for the inside. But Wellman's still sticking it out there, trying to stay strong on that inside line. Oh, one of the Barbers dropping right back out of that. Out of podium contention. No fuel, yeah. And that's going to give Wellman the lead.
He won. That's it.
Flag. One of the other Barbers is out, I think, as well. So
Gary Wellman, your winner tonight.
Ooh, yeah, Andy Barber running out of fuel. So Wellman now Chicagoland crowned winner. Adam Malone coming home in second. Ryan Barber in third. Braden Sagerson fourth. Troy Davidson, your top 5. Matty Ray in 6th. Todd Maxfield 7th. Tom Pritchard 8th. Kate Donnelly 9th. And Nicholas Walsh, your top 10.
Kim Rafi's going to come home in 11th spot. Andy J. Barber running out of fuel on the last lap, last corner. He putters it home in 12th. Ruben Phelps, with that damage, he maintained and kept on the lead lap to finish 13th. Scott McClinton in 14th. Jason Tyreman 15th. Shane Rafi coming home 16th. Perry Anastakis from that early spin comes home 17th. Colin Bennett 18th. Peter Madison 19th. And Shannon Wright comes home one lap down in 20th.
And over our page, Rick Vincent 21st, Lachlan Purvis 22nd, Troy Mortensen 23rd, and DJ Derek Jacobs coming home in 24th. Well, there's not much fuel in that tank for a celebratory burnout for Wellman.
Well, he did it. He got it done on that pit stop. That pit stop strategy towards the end is what won him this race. Those fresher tires, that shorter pit stop, it is what did it. And he made the most of it, held on to that lead, got it done on the last lap, and came home a winner tonight.
Well, we'll go to a quick ad break. We'll get our podium up in the booth with us, and we'll have a bit of a chat with the podium. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Here at TWRS, we're always here to help our squad when they need a little push in the right direction. That's just who we are. We're a beautifully diverse group of goofballs dedicated to driving fake race cars as fast as possible. And we continue to push each other to the front using the power of nonsense. We have one of the strongest NASCAR programs on the service, and you can access it all for $24.99 a month. And we just released individual subscriptions for $14.99 a month for each NASCAR vehicle. We also just added a Rallycross program, and our IndyCar program is taking off as well. So come join the weird side. We have speed and cookies. Cookies are not included in some locations.
You've got what it takes.
Ladies and gentlemen, ready for countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
some of the greatest stuff I've ever heard. Ooh.
These go to 11.
And we are back here to Chicagoland Speedway as we got our top 3 in here to get some quick interviews in before we end the broadcast. Our top 3, Gary Wellman, Adam Malone, and Ryan Barber here tonight in the OzFest V8 Supercar Series. Now, I'm here with Ryan Barber. Ryan, you finished 3rd here tonight. How does it feel out there racing with your dad, working with your dad there towards the end of the race?
Man, it's always good to race with Dad. Like, he's the reason why I began racing in the first place, so it's always good to run with him. But tonight we ran a bit of a different strategy with him and Adam saving fuel for the first 2/3 of that race. So their strategy worked out well, just got a bit unlucky at the end.
Yeah, well, you had the older tires compared to the 2 guys in front of you. Do you feel like that was a factor there in your inability to get around them towards on the very last lap there, as he got ahead of you there in 3 and 4?
Yeah, well, when the other boys came out, about 5 or 10 laps after I did, I knew I was in a bit of trouble with having a bit older tires. But once you start running in the rubber and racing hard, that kind of becomes irrelevant. But definitely having the younger rubber at the end would have been an advantage, and it worked out well for Gary for the win.
Well, I must say you had a great run tonight nonetheless, making that bottom work, making it interesting for us up here in the booth. Congratulations on your 3rd place run. Would you like to shout out anybody tonight?
Yeah, man, of course. First of all, I'd like to thank the boys. Obviously Dad, Adam and Tom, who were running with us tonight. And then our sponsors, Mish's Excel Garage. They do everything for the Excel racing category, so roll cages and the tools and everything else that you could benefit from having at the track. RBI trading cards, they sell baseball trading cards. 7-Eleven, Sydney Pool Servicing. Our driver Tom Pritchard owns that company, so if you need anything in the Sydney area, then just give him a shout. Beyond Blue, so that's a mental health organisation for anxiety, depression and suicide. It's definitely important to reach out to the resources if you need help. Twist X, it's not really a sponsor, but we do run them on our cars to pay tribute to Tim Smiris, who lost his life during a tornado, so that's cool. And last of all, I'd like to thank my grandparents who every race that we do, they're watching the broadcast, supporting us, cheering us on, and of course I saw them earlier today and it was good and refreshing to see them too, so definitely a big shout out to them.
Awesome, man. Congrats on the podium and the 3rd place run. We'll have to catch you next week. Hopefully you can get a couple more spots there and take home a W and be back in here in the booth with us.
Thanks, man. I'll definitely push a bit harder next race and get that number 1 result.
Awesome. Have a great night. I'm going to pass it back over to Paul here with our 2nd place finisher.
Alrighty, thank you, Sean, and well done, Ryan Barber. On Adam Malone, and the broadcast just shut down there for a second on our stream there, but I think that's still going on YouTube. But Adam Malone, welcome to the booth, and 2nd place finish tonight for yourself.
Yeah, hey boys. Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, definitely look like, similar strategies there with Southern Stars, but you sort of ran a little bit longer there with Wellman and, a bit of fuel saving early on, as Ryan mentioned.
Yeah, me and Andy were pretty much on the same strategy, and I noticed Gary Wellman too, but Andy pulled up half a lap short towards the end there, so really he should be sitting here and I should be still in the Discord channel, but I'll take the 2nd place.
Yeah, well, good to have a few different drivers in the booth with us at times and on the podium, and We haven't had you in the booth for a while, so good to see you back up here on the second step.
Yeah, cheers, mate. It's been a while. The seat's pretty cold, but I can get used to it again. And yeah, no, it was a good race all around. It was, but no cautions there, so it was a nice clean run.
Yeah, definitely getting used to these Gen 3 cars and coming along now, and hopefully we'll probably see you up in the booth quite a bit more as the races go on. But yeah, it's you know, same sort of shout out to your sponsors once again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ryan did. I know we got a couple of new ones, but I don't actually know those new ones, so I'll just put a shout out to Mishy's XL Garage, RBI Trading Cards, 7-Eleven, and the Southern Stars Esports team.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Adam, and look forward to you being in the booth with us a bit more. But we'll pass back to Sean for our race winner at Chicagoland.
Alrighty, I'm here with Gary Willman, your big winner tonight. Gary, what a drive, buddy. You started that last pit cycle about mid-pack, and you came out, was the last one to come down for your green flag pit stop, came out in the front of the pack with the freshest tires. During that pit stop cycle, did you think that was going to work and you're going to be in the winner's seat here tonight?
Yeah, I knew I had a pretty good shot. I thought I'd still be in the pack, and that's all I was sort of worried about. And, you know, if you can be there with 15 to go on 10 lap fresher tyres than most, you're in with a pretty good show. And yeah, as it was, I was able to sort of drive around to the front pretty right, and then I just had to manage my fuel to the end.
Well, you were the big winner a couple weeks ago in Daytona, and I'll tell you what, it looked like Daytona out there with the 2-3 wide pack racing that we saw. On that last lap, you had to make a couple blocks there on the Barber boys coming up behind you, that father-son team. Did you think they were going to have something for you going down to turn 3 and 4, or did you think you had it covered going down the back?
Oh, I thought I was pretty confident, but and the Barbers are pretty clean, so I knew they wouldn't do anything stupid, and like I say, I had fresh tyres as well, so... but yeah, I thought if they get working together and maybe, you know, start pushing and all that around the outside, they might give me a run. But yeah, it's a bit of a bummer for Andy. Yeah, he ran out of fuel there, I think, so unlucky for him.
Well, either way, it didn't matter for you because you were the one that came home in the top spot. Anybody you want to shout out for your win tonight?
Yeah, just Sim Boys and a couple of team sponsors, Hot Toddies, Heating Installs and United Electrical. Yeah, all you guys for the broadcast, series sponsors, Doogie, Everything Simulated, and Inside Lane Productions, and also my partner, Alana, and young fella Bo that's probably tuned in, or he might be asleep, but he's yeah, hopefully he might be watching a bit of it.
Well, congratulations, Gary, and we'll have to catch you next week. Good luck.
Yep, cheers, boys. Thank you.
Well, thank you, and that's our podium. Wellman on the top spot once again with Adam Malone and Ryan Barber, your top three tonight at Chicagoland. But Sean, thanks for jumping in the booth with us tonight and filling in with James Watson. So we heard your voice on Friday night and I think Saturday as well. So now Sunday. So good to have you on the comms, and look forward to hearing you again.
Oh man, it's been a lot of fun, especially tonight. We saw a great race tonight. So many different leaders, different strategies, and it all played out at the end with Gary Willman out on top. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely, and some good hard racing there. Green flag all the way, 100 laps at Chicagoland. So lots of 2-3 wide racing action. But next week, I am looking forward to this one. This is got to be the race I'm most excited about. We are going to Motegi, Mobility Resort Motegi Oval. This is going to put on a show for everyone at home. So don't forget to tune in next week with us, Sunday night here on Inside Lane Productions. And can't wait for this race.
Oh, Motegi's a great track. It'll be a good time.
Yes, but before then, we have a retro round broadcast here on Inside Lane Productions, the 5th annual running vintage Indy race, June 13th for US, 14th for us, I believe. And that is going to be quite a fun race there. James Watson, our co-commentator here for the OzOVals V8 Supercar Series, putting on this session in the hosted sessions, no passwords, so everyone's welcome to join. 10 a.m. Oz EST time, 14th of June, 8 p.m. for US EST time. So if you're up for a bit of fun, and there's a multi-car race for this one as well at Indy, jump on board and have a run on that one. But from everyone here at Inside Lane Productions, thanks to our sponsors, Digi Mobile and Everything Simulated, TWRS Setups 131 Web Radio Network, and myself in the booth with Sean Signory and Kobe Jordan behind the cameras. We wish you all good night.